Hi everyone, this is Mr. Cole with our class reading from our study guide on Egypt. Egypt is the next one of our cultural hearths and is located right here on this map. And this reading is from our study guide beginning on page 66 on Egypt. About 3000 BCE, a second civilization grew up along another river valley. This time, the valley of the Nile River in present-day Egypt. In contrast to the unpredictable waters of the Tigris-Euphrates in Mesopotamia, those of the Nile overflowed once annually, discharging an amount of water that usually varied little from one year to the next. As in Mesopotamia, irrigation projects to channel floodwaters led to the organization of the community and ultimately to the development of political structures. Although several major cities emerged along the Nile, most of Egyptian communities were agricultural villages engaged in local trade along the Nile. The king of Egypt, or Pharaoh, wielded considerable power. About 2700 BCE, the pharaohs began the construction of huge pyramids that served as tombs for themselves and their families. These tombs were decorated with colorful paintings. Like the Sumerians, the Egyptians were polytheists, or worshippers of many gods. Their belief in an afterlife led to the practice of mummification to preserve the bodies of pharaohs, and later those of members of lower classes. Egyptian society was composed of a number of defined social classes. Within this social structure, however, commoners could enter government service and rise in social status. Egyptian families were patriarchal, with men dominating households and community life. Among the royalty, however, women sometimes acted as regents for young rulers or as priestesses. Other educated women worked as scribes for the Egyptian government. The Egyptians did not acquire the use of bronze tools and weapons until long after they had reached Mesopotamia. From the Nubian kingdom of Kush, a site of the independent innovation of ironworking, the Egyptians acquired iron implements. The Egyptians engaged in some trade with the people of Mesopotamia and later with the kingdom of Kush to the south. Some historians believe that Egyptian picture writing, or hieroglyphics, was developed from the Sumerian cuneiform as a result of trade contacts with Mesopotamia. Cultural diffusion from Egypt produced a Nubian civilization that incorporated Egyptian pyramids, writing, and religion into its own culture. In addition, the Nubian kingdom of Kush invaded Egypt in the 8th century BCE and ruled the Egyptian people for about a century. Throughout most of its early history, however, surrounding deserts protected Egypt from contact with invading peoples, permitting its civilization to develop its own unique characteristics. That's our class reading on Egypt from our study guide. Please see the class website, Mr. Cole or Mr. Katarski, if you have additional questions.